long-time viewers would know. Actually, they probably would have guessed what the camera replacement would be. So it was back in it was 2 bulks ago. So the bulk that I did before getting ready for the Arnold, I was on a trip it was like a double combo trip. First, Petoskey, Michigan, and then second over in Connecticut. Or no, it was in Rhode Island. And I rented this Mustang, and it was freaking sweet. But it was kind of, I don't know if I had like a version where the hood was like it was really like high up in front of me. So I was kind of waiting for the Camry to explode. That was kind of my, not my intent, but I was like, yeah, we're at however many 100,000 miles. I think I just simply underestimated it. But yeah, the Camry will be on a weather basis to the gym, because I'd feel like a total fool if it was really snowy out or something, and imagine I spill it. Nah, that'd be freaking dumb. But plan now this morning with a morning weight of 235. I don't know. I got on the scale twice because I moved it around. I was going to take a picture, and then the first time I got on the scale, I was 235, and then the second time I got on the scale, I was 236. So I think I have at least what I think is a more accurate scale sitting around somewhere in the basement that I should get out and just use that one. Like it's one of the ones where the scale portion is separate to the screen and it's just got like a cable connecting it. I think it would probably be a little more accurate, but I don't know. And as long as you're using the same scale, the consistency is going to be there, right? But sometimes more accurate, the better. That's for sure. Because before I did my first show, my scale at the house in Vegas said I was 217, but the scale at the actual competition said I was 216. So I guess in that case it sort of worked out for me that my scale said I was a little bit on the heavier side, but something to think about, right? So that's one area where coming into the Arnold next year, I've got a little bit of an advantage, right? I've got the home field freaking, backyard turf advantage, because I'm not going to have to fly in internationally to actually do my prep and finish it off there. Because a lot like Wesley and Mike, I don't know if Mike's training in the U.S. or not, but I know Wesley's over in, is Wesley from Poland? Or Austria? I don't know. Well, Wesley's over there. He's going to have to fly into the States like a week and a half early, maybe 2 weeks early, just to kind of chill out. Like an overnight flight too will really kind of throw you off your game. Just you start holding water, you get like this inflammation, the pressure change. Like I know I sound like a baby by saying that, but it really does it could throw off your prep if you had to, if I had to fly in the night before a show. It'd be kind of rough, So I'm gonna go ahead and try to use that to my freaking advantage. But yeah, definitely ahead of schedule. I was talking about how I wanted to be 235, 236, by New Year's. It's the 24th, right? So it's a week ahead. That's a week freaking early. I've got a timer on my phone, just like a little widget, 73 days until the Arnold Classic. So 10 weeks and a little bit of change to lose what I estimate to be about 7, maybe 8 more pounds of body fat. So that puts me about where I want to be. A little less than a pound, or a little less than a pound a week average. I should be able to come in pretty peeled and then have room to adjust and really fill out. So I'll definitely look different than amateur show Sam. That is for freaking sure. But yeah, speaking of the 24th, dude, it's Christmas Eve. How quick did that happen? How quick did a whole year just boom, basically disappear? And it's not New Year's, but I'm probably going to say it in a couple days anyway. But at this point, it's essentially over. Right? You're on your way to the exam and you're trying to cram from your notes. sorry, man, that's not gonna do the trick, so it's over. Pretty much what somebody accomplished this year is has either been done or not, so for me, I feel pretty freaking crazy good about this year. But I'm sure I could list off every kind of specific thing, but I know that this year I feel like I freaking maybe not killed it, because you always want to be able to think you could do more, but I feel pretty good. 2025 was one for the books, that's for sure. Came in a regular Joe, and I'm gonna leave an IFBB Pro. So that's a freaking big year for anybody. But yeah, what was that? So whether or not you actually achieved or failed to achieve some specific goal isn't the whole situation, because anybody who actually tries to get after it, like anybody who sets themselves up well with a plan, consistent action, actually showing up, cardio, training, everything, you almost can't fail, because in a worst case scenario, you simply get less results than you want, but you still got results in the first place. So, not that it's really a fun way to say it, but you can separate yourself from what we kind of say is probably 90% of the herd just by showing up and putting in a little bit of effort. Like, raise your hand and answer that question in that class that you feel pretty good about. Like, just any little thing that normally people aren't going to do, if you catch yourself doing it, well, guess what, man? You're ahead. For all the New Year's resolutioners, not to kind of categorize people like that, but for all the people who are going to use this January as a kind of a pivot point to get into it, you are going to outdo probably 60% of everybody else who got a membership and showed up on January 1st, or that week of January when they got back from vacation or whatever. You can completely outdo their work simply by showing up for that whole month. And then you've already shown up a whole month. What's showing up one more day? For somebody to go to the gym once with zero experience, probably one of the trickier appearances to what's the word I'm thinking? Well, one of the first sticking points that you might run into, just because you've never done it before. It's completely new territory. This is, you're going into freaking Area 51. You don't know what the hell you could run into. But once you've gone to the gym once and you go again, well, now you've just basically multiplied your gym experience by infinity. But let's just say you've now set the bar at that one lift. Well, now to go again, that's only 50% more than you've ever done. And then, or I guess 100% more, because the percentages are weird. And every time you go after that, it's just a smaller little bubble. Like it's nothing, it just gets easy. But you have to do it consistently to make it easy. That's it's kind of, I wouldn't say paradoxical, but it's just this yin and yang, back and forth, two sides of the same coin kind of deal, where the guys who work out the most, who you would probably look at and say, this guy works out a ton, he almost has it easier in a way, because he's been conditioned to show up. He's been conditioned to count his calories, do his cardio and everything. It's just what he does. If you throw me in a pool and tell me to swim 500 meters, I'm gonna have a problem, right? You throw a damn bluefin tuna in there, he's gonna say, why the hell, I'm going miles upon miles per day. This is nothing. That's just what they do, so that's at least one of my biggest kind of maybe just sort of tips or like mindset changes to anybody. If you're trying to think of like, okay, I want to be like so-and-so, I want to lift like who, and don't try to do it. All right, it's there is no try, right? Kind of a classic Yoda there, but it's just start doing it. There is no moment. There's not going to be, I'm sure people have seen this before or have kind of been in this situation before. There is no day where people are going to pull a David Goggins, basically just eat shit, do nothing, and then suddenly revelation, I'm going for it. I'm getting real today. Boom. right? So, you know, assuming none of that story's embellished at all, it's not going to happen like that. But the fact that it has, for some, makes people think that it's like just going to be a luck thing, you know? So it'll never get done unless you get it done. How about we leave it at that? But yeah, this will be a good chest day. So this is a fasted workout, technically. Or not even technically, this just is a fasted workout. Because last night was early Christmas, because we're traveling Christmas morning. So we moved it up a couple of days. So I had an extra, I think like, just about an extra 1,200 calories, which isn't huge, especially at this size. Like for me to have a day where I have a bit of a refeed like that's only the equivalent of like 300 grams of carbs. But since I'm already kind of residually carbed up from the night before, I don't see a problem coming in and getting straight to work and with the weight session. Also, a fasted workout, at least for something like chest and arms, I just like, because by the time you're done and you're posing, your stomach is completely empty and you can just hit like a freaking wild ass vacuum. So it just, that makes it cool for me, because the pose down and actually the pump check in and of itself, that gets me amped, you know, that gets me excited about training. Like if somebody said no more pump checks ever, I mean, shit, I'd still lift, but I might not be as happy about it. You know, I want to see what's going on under the hood. So that, in this case, a nice little kind of Christmassy Ohio fleece. I think this is as Christmassy of any kind of clothes as I have. I don't have any. I don't even have a Santa hat. I gotta stock up on freaking festivities. But either way, let's get this freaking Chestmas Eve started. This is an unintentional coincidence, but I keep freaking copying Chris Bumstead's setup. Whatever. Yeah, he put the dumbbells in the right spot. What can I say? His cables are over there, though. For me, I kind of have it moved around. But let's start with this cable press. So not wild weight, but heavy enough I can feel it. So this will be like the opposite of yesterday. So yesterday's back day, I'm like, you know, okay, I warm up, I'm doing my sets, whatever. I feel like it will be good to start with heavier, quicker reps for kind of just like a, you know, get ready into the pump side of things. But for chest today, I kind of want to, you know, ease into it a little. You know, it's like instead of playing the piano like super freaking hard and crazy, this is like a little more relaxed, very intentional, very specific. And I'm cool with that, because that means I'm not going to rip my chest. Like if I ripped my pec off doing this, it's, I mean, I'd be upset, but at least I could say, shit, man, I couldn't have predicted that one, you know. But let's get real. Okay. Yeah. Puh. Puh. Choo. Choo. Oh, okay. Let's keep doing those and then move on once I feel like I've gotten as much out of them as I can. Two. Oh shit. All right, let's go back to the original weight and just do one more. That was too heavy. Like, it was fine, but it was a little bit too much. 2. 2. 2. 2. Oh shit, okay. One more, and then we'll move on to something else. Two. Yeah. Two. Two. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think those 4, that's it, the trick. But now the question is what to do next. I think a fly, but we'll see. Right. I think the stack plus a 25 in the back should do me about right. So those were heavy, so I'm like exposed to weight, but they're not like rip my tech off heavy or rip my pec off heavy. So I still feel like I can get a good heavy one in now. Let me just switch to a TikTok edit instead. It's hard to beat some. A lot of the JJK stuff is going nuts. Yeah. 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 Okay. Whew. One more of those. That felt really good. Two. Two. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's finish with a cable press. And we're ready to pose down, that's for sure. All right. Two. Yeah. Two. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Let's see how we're looking. That was a good lift. Let's discuss the specifics. All right, so that looks like about as good a spot as any. Yeah, I'm feeling rather good about that lift. So what I mean a little more specifically, I kind of did everything I wanted to do, you know? Like, even though those were lighter cable press, they were still heavy enough that I felt like the sets did legit. I know it's not damage, but I like to say damage, right? I like the bro science, the idea of like, you're ripping down your fibers and then growing them back stronger. Sure, if that's not what happens, that's cool. But that's like my mental image, you know? So those were just about the sweet spot of heavy, but light enough that I could squeeze and hold it. Then some kind of quick pumpish constant tension pec deck, which that pec deck, I mean, in a lineup, well, it's probably close. There was this old one, if you're going to Miami, Oxford, they used to have this old school pec deck, just no rubber on the handles. The plates stack was falling off the back. It was in good shape. I'm just saying that, but it was old, and it was fucking sweet. And they replaced it with some new like junk commercial model of some line of fitness equipment, like they did with everything else in the gym. And I know that decision was purely, just, okay, so how much will this line cost? Ooh, that's a little much. What if and they wouldn't want to say like the cheap line, but that's what it was, and it's just not cool. But the fact that it's, okay, I'm going off on a little tangent, but the biggest difference is the fact that with this one, the pivot points are right on top of my shoulders. With a normal, like a Life Fitness one, the pivot points are actually in front of your shoulders, so it kind of pulls you out into this hunch. Whereas here, I can keep my shoulders down. I still get a little bit of kind of front delt, but not much, and I can actually just wreck my chest. But lighter squeezing ones with a burnout, good. Pec deck, burnout, even better. And then one more little just back and forth cable press. Well, whoop-de-doo. That's freaking sweet for me. So that's what? 7 total sets. That's about freaking right. But even doing, so this is what I'm talking about in terms of a new level. I've been like hitting a little, kind of most muscular here and seeing these fibers like up top. This is the chest day of this diet where I'm getting some downward fibers as well. So like, kind of pulling down my chest. Who's got it the craziest, I think, is going to be, if you ever see Ronnie Coleman's posing, sometimes he'll hit a lat spread, and it's like, I have it a little. You see that little line of muscle? Let's just say there's a lot of room for development beyond just size. But let's stop talking about posing and actually just hit some. Yeah. Oh man. So I definitely feel a little flatter than my last chest day. Like not a lot. Like I'm not looking at myself thinking like, oh, I'm so flat. But I can tell I'm flat, like more so than last time. I think I was a little more carved up for the last lift, or the last chest day at least. But that's cool. I don't need to come in carved up. And if I did, that would actually kind of be throwing me off my game, because I want to be at least flatter than not, so that I can keep burning off of this little layer of fats to keep me going, and then subsequently keep getting me leaner and leaner and freakier and everything else that goes along with it. But let's see how back is looking too. Well, yeah, right in the middle. Oh my goodness. So that concludes chest. And until I get the bike fixed up on the second level, well, shit, I gotta do a little bit of a pit stop. I could do cardio at home, but I kind of like doing it at a gym because it's more fun when people are around. It makes the time pass a little bit quicker. So I guess I'm gonna pack it up, and then I'll see you in the car in probably about an hour. All right, yeah, there we go. So that was a little Planet Fitness pit stop. for the 45 minutes, and I've got a particular seated bike that I really like. I don't know, it doesn't matter, but it's one over from the one on the left. I don't think it makes any difference compared to any other, but just like a little habit I seem to be forming. And yeah, I think this prep, I think I'm going to enjoy the cardio more doing it around people instead of just like hiding away, because that's what I did last year. I just had I had the cardio bike at the apartment gym, and it was like super little, and I was just talking to one of my old buddies, Eli, because I was telling him I've got this like image ingrained in my mind of this empty apartment pool, because the cardio bike and the treadmill both face the same way. So even though I did do half-hour bike, half-hour treadmill sometimes, or I would do like 45 minutes bike, 45 minutes treadmill, I'm just like, I've got this mental image of just the pool, because I sat there for I don't even know how long. It was like cumulative 6.5 days worth of cardio. I remember I did the math. Just those last 3 months of the prep, I definitely remember adding up to be about 160 hours, or no, 120 hours. So what's that? Okay, so that's 5 days. But still, 5 days of cardio is not nothing. 5 days of cardio adds up. If I do 45 minutes a day, or 45 minutes twice a day over these next basically 70 days, well, I just did the math. It added to about 4.4 total days. So I've got 4.5, give or take, days of cardio left before show number 1. And then, assuming everything goes well and I feel good, show number 2 being the Arnold UK. So same deal. I'll probably look very similar, but I do have a few weeks to kind of adjust. But that's where I'm not going to have that, home field advantage, because now I got to be the guy doing that international flight, and I guess I'll just kind of see how early I can get there. None of that's been scheduled yet, but I should probably get on that. The last thing I want to do is like have to get there kind of quick and then rush it or something, because that'd be no fun. If we're already going all the way to, do a full-on prep, and make sure it's actually freaking legit. But yeah, other than that, I'm feeling on track. I'm feeling like the goals that I'm aiming for in terms of just leanness and everything else. Shit, man, day by day progress reports, all reading back in the green. No overdue tasks. The cardio is solid. Yeah, we are freaking good. So yeah, 235 this morning, or no, 235, 236-ish. So I assume by New Year's, 235 will be like a new high, because it's always going to fluctuate a couple pounds up or down. I'm always going to be like 236 or 7 or whatever, and it's just like kind of part of the inconsistency of being alive. Like, even if I eat the same amount of food and the same amount of water, I might sleep a little different. Maybe something that I ate will kind of pass through me a little bit quicker. Like, there's a million things that are going to change on a day-by-day basis, which could kind of make you weigh a pound, or 1 pound more or 1 pound less. So just trying not to get thrown off by that day-by-day. So if today you were 222 and you're aiming for 200, and then tomorrow you're 222, and then tomorrow you're 222, and then the next day you're 220, and then you're 221, and then you're 220, and then you're 221 again. That's what it's going to look like on a day by day. So try not to freak too much if you wake up and you had a bunch of food the night before and the scale's reading a little heavier. It's not the end of the world, But do be concerned with your week by week average. Be a little more concerned with, okay, what has my average been over this last week versus now? I'm going to order a scale today. I guess it won't even matter. I'm going to be gone tomorrow morning. But I'm going to order a scale for when I get back that's automatically hooked up to like an app on my phone, because I keep telling myself I'm going to track it on like a Google Sheets, and then I never do it. So I just gotta have it like automatically Wi-Fi connected. I'm sure it's going to listen to my conversations and then not tastefully, but like specifically show me ads, because my scale is listening to me like an Alexa. What are you going to do? But yeah, other than that, not only is the weight change on the scale showing me what I want to see, but visually, I'm getting it as well. Like just sitting, no pump, no anything, seeing some quad veins, just pretty much permanent. I'm not talking like, insane spider like Ronnie Coleman in the yellow tights quad veins, but quad veins nonetheless. Well, shit, man, that's cool with me. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see. And it's not even January yet, So today to January 30th, that's going to be big. So that's I'd say these next 5 weeks are going to be game changer level. Now, nothing's really going to change for me in terms of the routine. I'm going to eat the same pretty much. I'm going to maybe adjust accordingly. Cardio, I don't want to, I'm trying to just keep that at 45. 45 in the morning, 45 at night is very maintainable for me. Like, I don't feel like I'm overdoing it or like, accruing fatigue or anything like that. If I started to, I'd have to adjust accordingly, maybe back it off. And then just keep on waiting, And, as long as that setup is good, as long as my equation is good over here, it's got no other choice but to balance out, right? So put on one side of an equation. Baller, or not, what am I saying? Not baller, exactly. Lifter, he's got that dog in him. He's hitting his cardio. He's tracking his macros. He's consistently bringing it, and he's excited about his training. And then you give him a gym, and you give him, you give him adequate protein intake. He's got no choice but to make gains. There is no other alternative result. It's as close to a guarantee as anything in life, I could probably say. Not that anything's guaranteed, but that's one for sure. So I think that's all I got for today. Tomorrow, I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. Tomorrow might be a really late upload, or it might be normal schedule if I wake up like super early, because I got to be at the airport at 6-ish. Maybe I could kind of get away with 6:30, but probably 6. So that means if I want to do arms before the flight, then I got to be in the gym at like 4:30. I don't know. I mean, I can get up early, but I don't know about a 4:30. That might be a little on the heavy side, but we'll see. So if it ends up being a later one, then that would mean that tomorrow's workout is going to go down way west over in Colorado, or it'll just be here in Ohio in the freaking whatever gym is open. I guess I know one gym that's always going to be open, as long as road closures don't get in the freaking way. But yeah, that's all I got. So Merry freaking Chestmas Eve. I'll see you tomorrow for Christmas.